we've all argued with significant others, right? Towards the end of a relationship, we might argue and say something that we regret saying that could be technically verbally abusive. But this isn't one argument. This isn't 1 week, 1 month, this is an extended period of time. But there's evidence that has surfaced that when his girlfriend was getting another surgery later on down the line, he was live streaming, opening Pokemon cards, ignoring the fact that she was there in a medical distress situation again, and he was instead trying to earn revenue on Twitch, which is a dumb thing for a millionaire like Gus to be doing when your girlfriend needs and wants you.
But even before that, Gus Johnson, from what I understand, was not supportive at all and literally was just straight up like, you know, I'm not fucking doing this. Like, you're not having this baby. And like, you want me to watch this, dude? Like, you want me to watch like this person crying and like talking about this? And it's like, it's so heavy. Like, this is some real heavy shit. Not only was Gus unsupportive in the beginning of the pregnancy, even before he knew that it was a ectopic pregnancy, that like she had no shot but to like absolutely abort. Okay, otherwise she's gonna die. But even after that, when she does end up getting an abortion, he's not there for her, and he places his career over he placed his career over their relationship, over her well-being. And it's like kind of fucked up. It's not even kind of fucked up, it's just fucked up. It's very personal, very fucked up. And that's what yeah, Gus personally fucking admitted to it in a tweet, and motherfuckers are still trying to defend him.
Those are, in my opinion, almost unforgivable narcissistic patterns. And sorry to make it about myself, but you know I always do that as someone who was raised by two narcissists and someone who has narcissistic tendencies himself that he has to constantly check all the time. It's so frustrating when I see some flagrant narcissist getting away with shit like this. It is not okay.
Point of me making this live was basically, I realized today that I have nothing to offer a man. Nothing. And I feel like it took, number one, it took me 32 years to realize it, because I just found that out today. So I was today years old when I realized it. And then it took me a lot of pride swallowing to be able to admit it. I'm gonna tell you why I feel the way I feel. This is not based off anyone else. This is only based off myself, but I just wanted to share it just in case it may help somebody else. I feel like I don't have anything to offer to a man because a man asked me what I had to offer him, and it was the way he asked that made me realize that I don't. He simply stated, I realize that you're single, but tell me, what would I benefit from having you as my woman? Now, outside of the basics, like, oh, I look nice, I can cook, I work, I didn't have nothing else to offer. And the reason I realized that I didn't is because I got to thinking about myself, and all I've been doing for so many years is just working and taking care of kids. I don't know necessarily what I'm into, so there goes hobbies. I'm not necessarily sure my feminine level of energy, because majority of my relationships, I wore the pants. So how can you, as a woman, offer to be a woman to a man if you've never fully been a woman? I am a woman because I'm a female, but I'm talking about like actually be a woman, like to a man. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what that feels like. So I can't honestly say that I have anything to offer as far as a woman outside of just being a woman. So that means all I really do have to offer is some pussy because I'm a woman and we have one. That's really not enough. I can't honestly say I can offer you a nurturing environment because I'm too frustrated about the children that I have and the lack of help that I have with them. So it's like I can't necessarily be so nurturing to you when I'm frustrated at the amount of nurturing that I'm already doing. So therefore, I know I can't offer you that. I can offer cooking for you, but then to me, it comes at a price, because if you're coming and you're sitting and you're eating my food and you're not providing any of it, I'm a feel away. So now I'm offering you bitterness. That's not anything a man wants. Why would you want a bitter female? Well, I'm bitter because of my own merits. So it's not your job to fix the bitterness. It's my job to fix. The definition of being bitter in itself, a mixture of disappointment, disgust, fear, and I want to say frustration. Those are, I believe, the four main categories that are inside of being bitter. A lot of times when a person says that they're bitter, a lot of people see negative, and that's not always the case. You can be bitter for the right reasons and it come off the wrong way, if that even makes sense. As much as I want a man to come to me ready, able to provide, work, and handle himself, I think that me as a female, I need to have my emotions in check, because if a man wants peace, I don't have any, because I'm frustrated. I'm bitter, I'm emotional, I'm upset. So I made this video because today I realized that I don't have anything to offer a man outside of good looks. And I learned that I don't want a man for just his looks. So how can I be so selfish and only offer a bare minimum and expect so much? That is some unfair shit. I don't know about all these other females. Other females may not agree or even feel the way I feel, but I know me. I know the man that I'm looking for and wanting. I'm not even half of him. So the reason that I'm even talking about all of this is because I watched a video that Steve Harvey had a while ago. And what he said was that when you're out looking for a spouse, you should find a person that is a cup that is the same type of cup as you. So if you imagined yourself as a water bottle, and this is 2 Ozarka bottles, if you meet a spouse that is just a cap, and then you're a bottle, when you go into pouring into this person, they're a cap. So that means they can only hold a cap full of what you've poured. Well, if you pour everything you got into them, they've only held a cap full amount. So now it's time for them to pour back into you, and all they have is the cap. But you're still this whole bottle. So you expect this little cap to fill all of you up. That doesn't work. So now I'm realizing I've been walking around feeling like a bottle, but really I'm a cat. And I'm out here looking for bottles, and niggas are shaped like bottles, ain't full of shit. And I have nothing to fill them with. So I'm empty and low, and these men are empty too, and I'm out here mad about it. So I had to take a step back, and I've just learned this. I had to take a step back and look at myself and realize, girl, you don't even have shit to offer while you out here mad at these men. So how about you focus on getting you something to offer a man that would be something that they could walk away from you and feel like, you know what, I can't live without her. Because without her, I can't do this, this, and this, and this. Because I'm telling you, with me, you can get you some attitude. All the bitches got attitude. Well, I got one of them. Nobody wants that. And with me, you can get a baby, because I seem to make those. But all the bitches do that. So what about me is going to be different from this next female? I'm about to take the time and figure that shit out. So I just want to share with y'all that some of us ladies may not necessarily have anything to offer a man, and we don't realize that because we feel like we're a woman and that's enough. But if you want a man to be more than just a nigga, then you going to kind of have to be more than just a bitch.
The hardest thing for a man to say to a woman, and the hardest thing for a woman to hear, the hardest thing for her to live with, for her to really accept while that relationship is going on, is you will never be the mother of my kids. And it's fucked up even for people who are committed antinatalists, even for people who are committed child-free, even people who never want to have kids in their life. But it's more fucked up when you're talking about teenage couples, couples in their 20s, even couples in their 30s, where they're in a long-term relationship, but the rules of the game are, the rules that both sides have agreed to, is that I'm never going to have kids with you, because that's not who you are for me. There's someone else. Maybe someone I haven't met yet. Maybe someone I haven't even imagined. And maybe someone I already know. Maybe someone I'm already thinking about. And they're the person I'm going to have kids with. And in our whole culture, we pretend this isn't fucked up. We pretend this isn't immoral, that it isn't traumatizing for everyone involved. We use terms like, it's just casual. It's just a casual relationship. You do the fucking dishes together. You sleep in the same bed. You wake up and eat breakfast together knowing that he is never going to be the father of your baby. And yeah, Maybe that's because at this stage in your life, or as a commitment to last your whole life, you never want to have kids with anyone at all. But maybe it's not. And when he's looking at you, he's thinking, what do I mean to you and what do you mean to me? All right? For that woman, what is she to you if she is just the bitch you happen to be fucking, but she's never going to be part of your life in that way? You're never going to trust her to that extent on that level. Right? Not all relationships have to be about reproduction. Not all relationships even have to be about sex. But you can have a sexual relationship that's not about settling down. That's not about raising a family. I'm in my 40s. I get it. But what has become normal in mainstream, middle-class American society from your teenage years through to like 35 is having very close, loving, accepting, codependent relationships built on a kind of constant, subtle rejection in which the other person knows, and you're reminding each other constantly, you're not good enough. You are never going to be the father of my child. You are never going to be the mother of my kids. And if by accident you should happen to get pregnant, you're going to have an abortion and or we're splitting up. Because the explicitly stated rules of the game are that if that happens, you've got to get an abortion. Because me and you and that kid, not going to happen. Not the next 10 years of my life. No. I'm what you'd call a bookish intellectual. All right? There's a kind of academic side of my life. It's not my whole life. All right? I could be with a woman. I could be with a very attractive woman where it's clear from the beginning of the relationship, she's never going to be a part of my intellectual life. Now, on the other hand, I could find and be with a very intellectual woman who is never part of, shall we say, the show business side of my life. It's never part of my YouTube channel or my creative writing aspirations or my filmmaking aspirations or my book publishing. You can imagine. Maybe there's a girl who's part of the book reading side of my life and not the stand-up comedy side of my life, not the show business side of my life, right? You're fucking telling me it's normal in this relationship to fall in love with somebody, to live with them, to cook their food, to walk their dog and pick up that hot poo that comes out of their dog's asshole, to live these really fucking middle-aged, codependent relationships, these tight, personal relationships that resemble marriage so much for so many years. But where on a deep level, you're saying, you're knowing, you're feeling all the time, there's this other part of my life, which is sexual reproduction, which is starting a family. And that's never going to be with you. Because you're part of my sex life, but not my reproductive life. That's a tragedy so common that it's become to us in this culture completely fucking invisible.